You worked with Shelton Benjamin
Yeah.
at the New Year's. So what happened in that match? It was a lot of build up, it was a lot of talking. It was it all along just supposed to be a quick little match like that?
Well, no, it was supposed to be quick, but because I mean, I had just turned heel,
Hmm.
so I mean, I didn't really, this is I probably had a couple house shows of wrestling heel under my, in my system. I didn't have, just didn't. I mean, wrestling heel, it's just different. So I mean, we were supposed to do some, just a little bit of stuff. He was going to pin me quick, and then as he's leaving, that's when I was going to cut the promo. But the people were they hated me so much that's when, and you see it on the pay per view. That's when Kyoto told me, he's like, Vince wants you to do your promo now, and because you see me say, do it now, and he's like, yeah. So we had to come go off the foot cup, but I was getting so much heat, like so much damn heat. Like they hated me, which was awesome, which was so cool.
IC title match, pay per view. I mean, it was New Year's resolution. It wasn't like a WrestleMania, but payday's still pretty decent.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
anytime you were on a pay per view, you knew they were going to be good. I mean, I still even remember I was on in Portland, Oregon. I was on Unforgiven, and I did just the dark match. And the reason why is because when I started Tough Enough, Portland is where I lived at the time, so they wanted me to put me on the show, even though I wasn't at the pay per view. And I mean, my even doing the dark match, the pay per view check was still up higher than normal. Yeah, no, it was still. I mean, still, great money, great money, and that was an easy night just because Shelton's just so good. Like
Yeah,
Shelton's just
it's amazing.
so good.
You
Yeah,
mentioned before that they were thinking of putting the IC belt on you.
yeah. Like originally, I didn't think they were going to do it then, but I think we would have, probably kept our feud going. But again, I was just so new at being a heel. They wanted me to get some more experience with working heel, which I mean, I would have loved to have been an IC title, IC champ, but they probably weren't wrong.
Did they specifically tell you, "Hey, we have plans on giving you the belt"?
Yeah,
They did.
yeah, they were like, well, we're going to have you feud with Shelton, and our plan is to, and then that's when they would tell me, because they wanted us to do that, and then keep the feud going on, TV for probably another cycle, another leading up to the next month's pay per view, and then maybe reassess it then. What changed? I mean, I just assume it was just I had to learn how to wrestle as a heel. Now, if I knew what I know now back then, had the body back then, oh, I would have been perfect for it because I know how to work as a heel now. And now I only want to do stuff as a heel.
A lot
You
of
know,
fun.
it's so much more fun. But I mean, think about it. Up until then, I had only worked babyface my entire career. So, yeah.
What's the point of even telling you? Listen, you're showing up to work the day after the pay per view, whether you're the IC champ or whether you're not even on the show. You're showing up. What's the point of telling you something if they're not going to go through with it?
I think keeping you motivated. A wrestling locker room is a place to easily get in your head and to get
Hmm.
unmotivated. Very easy. I mean, for every guy that you got out there that's excited for what they're doing, for every guy that you have that's happy for their angle, you got five guys that aren't. Five guys that feel like they're underutilized, and five guys that just aren't happy and think that the grass is greener elsewhere. Now, there are a lot of them aren't wrong. I mean, you think about it. We had guys that had came from, working in WCW that were on every pay per view for 10 years, and they're sitting in the locker room, doing nothing.
Right.
So I completely understand. Yeah, it's just it's a tough gig, and then obviously you see some kid come up from Tough Enough, and then he's getting put on TV and getting runs with belts and stuff. Man, that's a tough pill to swallow. That's a tough pill to swallow.
I would never say that to you.
I mean, no, but the only person that ever told me that he was mad at me for taking his spot turned out to be one of my best friends was Test. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, it was funny because when I moved down to Florida in '08, I mean, I lived pretty close to him, so me and him would shoot. We'd go out to eat. We'd go to movies. I mean, we went to a boxing match together, and he told me he was like, "I hated you, Maeve." He's like, "You took my spot on Mania," because evidently he was supposed to wrestle in WrestleMania 18, and I took his spot, which took his payday. And yeah, I get it. Like I
Right.
completely get it. But I like I said in the thing video, I knew I could win guys over. I knew eventually guys would get to know me, and I'm not trying to backstab or do anything to anybody. I was strictly just trying to just do the best job I could do. And when it came, and trust me, but everything's cyclical because everything that happened to me in the beginning happened to me in the end. That what I did in the beginning, it happened to me in the end. New guys would come in and then take runs that I thought were mine, and that's the thing about the wrestling business. You know, unless you're one of those top guys that gets one of those top spaces, that's all. That's just grandfathered into every single Raw and SmackDown or pay per view. Um, Everyone else is just fighting for a spot, and there's always going to be someone that comes up and to replace you. And that's what makes it important about getting not getting injured. Because if you get injured and you're off TV, and who was it? Bill Parcells said, don't leave a huddle because you never know who's going to take your place in that huddle, and eventually they might not want to take them out. And that's the same with a wrestling. Same with wrestling. They might give someone a spot or a chance. They might shine and be like, well, may even take a couple more weeks off. So it was always guys with. That's why you would wrestle with injuries. That's why you wrestle with little nagging bumps and bruises and everything because you never knew. Man, you didn't want to give anybody else an opportunity to show. Right, he might be better than him or whatever. But it always happens. It's wrestling. Like it's baked into the cake. Like it's just the way the business is. Nothing's promised. Nothing's promised to you. I got fired 2 months after signing my biggest new 3-year contract. So nothing's promised to you.